For those of you who are joining on Zoom, welcome to the party. We are in the room. We're in the Richard Kim Center, and we are having some dinner right now. We wish you were here with us, but we're going to turn the camera on so you can have an opportunity to see who's in the room. And we're going to be back with y'all folks here in just a little bit. We're going to keep on doing what we're doing at the Richard Kim Center here in Burlington. Wish you guys could come out and have something to eat with us here, because these folks, my mother used to say, they stuck their foot in it. They hooked this food up. So we're trying to get some food in us. We're going to talk about the legacy of King, and we're going to give you the real story. We're going to do it up our way. Ain't nobody trying to do no minstrel shows today. So welcome. We're glad that you're here. For those who are on Zoom, just hang out with us. We're going to swing you around the room a few times, get you dizzy, then we'll be back. For those of you who are joining on Zoom, welcome to the room. We are here at the Richard Kemp Center, and it is going down. If you are hungry, you are missing free food at the Richard Kemp Center tonight. Shame on you. Shame on you if you didn't come in here and get some food. And if you eating and you're on camera, don't be ashamed. It's gonna be all right. Is it good? Let me see if I can get a close-up on it. Is it good? Is it good? It's good, ain't it? So we'll be back with y'all in just a minute. We'll be starting up here at the Richard Kemp Center. Stay tuned. You are tuned into the right place. We do King Day the right way because we're gonna tell you the real story about King. It wasn't about half-stepping, and it was really about a man of courage, and about a man of commitment, and about a man who was willing to stand up to political and economic power. It ain't just about a dream. Don't leave after this.
Mic check.
Yep. All right. Good evening, Richard Kim Center. How y'all feeling? Come on, make some noise for yourselves. You got some food in your belly? Bless it, bless it, bless it. My name is Rajni Edens. I am the Director of Cultural Empowerment here at the Richard Kim Center, the first and sole Black-owned community center and empowerment center in the history of Burlington. Give it up for that. Somebody say, nothing about us without us. Nothing about us without us. Say, nothing about us without us. Nothing about us without us. That's right, that's right. We are here to honor the legacy and reclaim the purpose and meaning of the life of Dr. Martin Luther King. Give it up for the man. Come on now. It's an honor to be here for that purpose. Too often, Dr. King's legacy is kind of relegated to a soundbite of I have a dream, or to speaking to just us merely being in proximity of each other as being the full scope and intention of what he was aiming for with his life. But he was about peace, he was about freedom, he was about prosperity, about confronting the triple evils of militarism and racism and poverty. So if we're to really honor his legacy, we must recommit to these things ourselves to liberate our people, Black people and all people. Someone say, Black people and all people. Black people and all people. That's right, that's right. So I'm going to share a few pieces with you in honor of Martin Luther King this evening, to touch our hearts and minds and to recommit together in the spirit to honor what we're truly here for. The first piece I want to share with you this evening is called Nobody Came. It's a poem some of you have heard before. My mother shared it in honor of peace shortly after 9/11, so I hope you find value in it and that you carry on in the same intention to make the world a peaceful place. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. I'd like there to be a war where... Your part. That's right. Where the gunners didn't show and the flyers didn't flow, like a river carrying death to those below. Where artillery moved too slow, missed the boat and the whole dang show. And we all refused to go, I said, we all refused to go. I'd like there to be a war where... I'd like there to be a war where... Where the infantry said no, in crisp tones the taste of snow. And the bombers stated clear, they won't go in any ear. And sharpshooters closed their eyes, much to the brass' great surprise. And there was peace with no reprise. We chose the peace with no reprise. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. Where we first would check ourselves, see what our causes do foretell, tweak what tweaking would do well, then maybe check ourselves again. Remembering some crazy macho win does not signify a win, cannot signify a win. So I'll say it once again, I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. I'd like there to be a war where nobody came. We'd like there to be a war where nobody came. Wouldn't you? Give it up for yourselves, amen. The next piece I want to share is in honor of all the ancestors who lost their lives and those who survived, whose shoulders we stand on. Say amen. Amen. This is called Middle Passage. There should be oceans of tears. There should be oceans of tears This ink is not my blood. What right have I to speak? What right have I to speak? Think my words the salty oblivion to swallow this globe, submerging continents. Mother's one perfect tear for her children. There were children in that small cramped space, giving birth in fetal position to stillborn cosmos, tiny infants with mayhem as midwife. Below deck, below death, below breath was hope, hidden in heartbeat rhythm. And now sometimes I see our children are below deck, crammed into small cramped space, but the wooden planks are blocks and stoops and streets. But our heart-beating hope tells me we don't have to live that metaphor, for we are the lineage of stars and suns. Look at the sky and see your reflection. Forgetfulness would have us think the oceans dreamt them, but galaxies do litter the seafloor. No one can ever take away our before. They sunk so that we soar. They hung so that we soar. They sunk and sung with tears in their lungs so that we soar. This is not a metaphor. This is not a metaphor. This ain't no metaphor. Middle passage. Someone say, give thanks. That's right, that's right. Got to give thanks and appreciation. Another thing that Dr. King spoke of often was our somebodyness, believing in ourselves. Somebody say somebodyness. That's right, that's right. So often our character, our human personality has been attacked. But as it turns out, we're the foundation of the entire human civilization. Give it up for that. And in order to be free in our minds, liberated from white supremacy and free as a human race, because there's not a race, there's one human race of people. In order to be free as a human family, we have to know the origin and the value of who we are, from black people to the present. So this piece is called Blackness. It goes like this. Who am I? When you see me, who do you see? Who am I? When you see me, what do you see? Misshapen perceptions of blackness. Dance, the speed of obsidian. Rhythmless oblivion. Mockingly grotesque. Malformed concept of a molasses mammy and her tar babies dancing gaily. Nooses strings sing the melody. Black breath can't scream when bodies swing. Days be just like minstrels, dancing a jig, till they feet still burning white, blistering hot, that blood flow from their souls, like the birth nobody knows. It ain't minstrel, but it streams drum such a purty tune, drip drop so sweetly white it shamed the moon. Now the sound be white, but the blood be black. Flow flood the mud to the desert smack. Its lips, black hips, and backs do sweat. Life stretched to give death with its breath. Trip, drop, breath, stop. Trip, drop, breath, stop. And you are not shit. You ain't hip hop, hip hop. The black blood blot splashed despite being a blight. Waters Snow White's desert appetite, hatching this halo. Unholy spectrum of a sambo rainbow. Take a swig of my nigger swagger. Clay flesh lacquered, blacker than sin, dark skin. It'll get you tipsy, topsy. Flip the corner up to be Rajni, and you're still down the well of my memory. Watching the ethos bubble in a frenzy. Eddies, echoes. The evil villain with the heart of black emerged from the darkness. Heartless black, void, devoid, soiled, dirty, stupid, ugly. It was hip hop. This is bloody ground. You smell the coppery cloying scent? Soil black is my royal tint. Hip hop. I am a living urn. The ashes of my ancestors are my innards. Hip hop. When I am night and I hold the stars, I thank you for this black flesh that surrounds my being. Nappy child, self-exiled, treasure the flesh that you're blessed in. When I am night and I hold the stars, I thank you for this black flesh that surrounds my being. Nappy child, self-exiled, treasure the flesh that you're blessed in. Blessed. I want to share a couple more pieces with you before I open up the stage for Director Mark Hughes to share some expression of what reclaiming the legacy and the purpose of Dr. King is actually meant to do, and why it's so important for us to do so and not allow for us to continue these same patterns of being stuck in "I have a dream" as the soundbite to which we all resonate. The next piece I want to share with you is actually called Charlena Lyles. Some of you may know of that name, as so many of our people have been killed by police. The history and present-day reality of the attacks on the black body cannot be refuted. This is a woman who was murdered by the police in Seattle, Washington. Although we already have had brothers killed by the police in Los Angeles. We could speak of Brother Keenan Anderson, speak of all these brothers and sisters who have lost their lives unjustly. There seems to be such a habitual pattern of us being socialized to perceive black people as monsters, no matter who we are, what our age, where we come from, what our nationality is. Just this history of putting us into a space where the world imagined us as dangerous. So this is about that phenomena, and hopefully is a seed planted for you to liberate your own mind from that phenomena and to think of ways to affirm all of our humanity in impactful ways that serve us all. Say for Charlena Lyles. Charlena Lyles and her daughters will turn into wolves. The moon will howl back, and the sun will be your undoing. Emmett Till will come back as Elephant Man. He will whistle lasciviously at white women in broad daylight, and no harm will come to him. Sandra Bland will stand around your bed staring hungrily. Her gaze will change your heart to stone, or if already stone, then the rest of you. Jordan Davis will return. You will meet him in the gas station parking lot in your dreams. He will have just purchased cigarettes and a pack of gum, and oh yes, his music will be playing very loudly. Yes, it appears we are monsters, demons with terrible resilience and incredible strength, and we are coming for your children. No handcuffs, tasers, or futuristic weaponry will thwart your doom. We are rock and roll, R&B, hip-hop gyrating colorfully through your black and white TV screens. It's too late. Michael Jackson already made Thriller. The wretched Negro demon rapists are dancing with your daughters. We've already soiled the White House. It's brown now, like the earth our clawed hands clambered out of. We have the dark, dignified audacity to breathe the white man's air unapologetically. To look a white lady right in the eye unfazed. To not stand for the hypocritical bullshit of white supremacy. Yes, the monsters are loose. We're claiming our lives matter more than just on Halloween. The next time you wear a Native American costume, you will be scalped and hung by the flag you hold so dear. The next time you wear blackface, tap dancing in layers of burnt cork and grease to mock our monstrous plight, it will become permanent, and none of your lily white loved ones will recognize you. You will be burned at the stake like only a true nigger or a faggot could be. You will taste the human tears, the blood behind these razor-sharp teeth, and suddenly the world will morph, and you will truly see the monsters at the dinner table, in your classroom, and right beside you as you lay down to sleep. Their red glowing eyes will surround you for knowing, for simply knowing that we are and have always been human. The next piece I want to share with you is called For Trayvon, Mike Brown, and the Countless Unnamed. This is a piece that was shared quite frequently during the uprisings and protests of 2020. And it's a piece that I hope inspires all of us to think deeply about how we can affirm our own and each other's humanity and serve the youth of today and tomorrow to recognize our shared value. For Trayvon, Mike Brown, and the countless unnamed, lynching is not dead. It's done in broad daylight, under the hot lights of media frenzy, for black blood, white guilt, white fear, and white acquittal, where brown boys are still expendable. Michael Vick should have had Zimmerman's lawyer. Brown boys are worth less than black dogs. Trayvon should have been a Brown lab. Maybe then we'd see more of a humane society's presence. If poems could march in the streets, overturn verdicts, bring corrupt police to justice, if they could bring a boy back his life and a mother back her son, a father back his boy, return bullets to a gun, unloose the lynch rope and unravel the knots from choked throats, we would not be choking on tears. When do our lives become valuable in the eyes of the law? When does hate cease to be exonerated behind a badge and lighter skin? And God forbid you wear a hoodie in the rain. What happens? You taste the rainbow, but you can't taste freedom. You can taste your own blood, but you can't taste the rainbow. Diversity is white people's code word for niggers. You can taste the rainbow, but not if you're too dark. The rainbow may come during the storm. If you're too dark on a block in a hoodie and the Skittles fall from your pocket, you never taste the rainbow. Your killer has the right to stand his ground. He may shoot you in the heart, and America may relive it in sordid detail. She's only reliving her nightmares. She dreams nightmares often. Open caskets, ashes, weighted limbs, no coffins. 2. His name is Trayvon Martin. Say it. Renee Davis, Khalif Browder, Corey Jones, Freddie Gray, Michael Sabbie, Darron Small, Terrence Sterling, Terrence Crutcher, Joseph Mann, Keenan Anderson, Dee Wiggum, Keith Lamont Scott, Breonna Taylor, Darren Seals, Ahmaud Arbery, DeAndre Joshua, George Floyd, Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, Corin Gaines, Oscar Grant, Mackenzie Cochran, the Charleston Nine, Andy Lopez, Carlos Alces, Kimani Gray, Timothy Stanberry, Sean Bell, Sandra Bland, Natasha McKenna, Kendra Chapman, Joyce Cornell, Henry Etheridge, Albert Sewell, Samuel Host, Samuel DeBose, Maya Hall, Darnisha Harris, Shelley Frey, Alicia Thomas, Tarika Wilson, Troy Good, Benzel Hampton, Aaron Campbell, Armias Ashkadam, Alonzo Ashley, Wendell Allen, Tanisha Anderson, Tyree Woodson, Victor White, Jonathan Farrell, Eric Garner, John Crawford, Ezel Ford, Omar Abrego, Keith Vidal, Michael Brown, Jordan Davis, Akai Gurley, Romaine Brisbane, Tamir Rice, Kajim Powell, Jack Jaquez, Manuel Loggins, Rakia Boyd, Melissa Williams, Chavez Carter, Maria Godinez, David Latham, Yvette Smith, Luis Rodriguez, Matthew Paulo, Amadou Diallo. His name, he has a name. His name is I Can't Breathe. His name is Emmett Till. His name, you must remember his name. James Byrd Jr. He may whisper it in the wind. You may hear it in your skin. His name is guilty. In his innocence. Freedom fighter. martyr, troublemaker. His name, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, he has a name. His name is Black Boy, blacklisted, blackballed. His name is Black Power, black babies in a black market for green cash, stolen life, tied to a tree, burnt at the stake. His name, probable cause, the Negro problem, chalk outline, white man's fear. His name, ear for souvenir. His name, Black Nigger Boy. Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton, Medgar Evers. His name saves lives, mobilizes movements. His name is Watch for a Black Messiah, bullet to the heart, boy in jaws of wolf, white girl caught rape, whistle too free, head too high. His name looked me in my eye. His name must die. Gangster, thug, menace, stereotype. His name is wretched like demon. His name is taken to the Iron Bridge on Main Street. His name's legs are pulled until his neck cracks. Stabbed, hung, shot, burned, ravaged by relic hunters. His name is Mistaken Identity. Scottsboro Boys, The Tuskegee Experiments, David Walker, Living, Breathing Black Manhood, Heathen, Pagan, No Salvation. His name is You Free Nigger, now get over it. Kunta Kinte, Stolen African, Strange Fruit, Stranger in a Strange Land, in danger of deranged hands, enemy of the state, genetic dissenter, asphalt art, bloody memory, collateral damage, white man's burden. That happened so long ago. Chain gang, wage slave, chattel, on the rack, in the irons, on the run, wanted. His name is arthritic hands that felt more thistles than cotton. His name is Put Your Hands Up, Spread Them, Stop or Shoot. His name is Bang! 41 shots! Asada Shakur, Angela Davis, Breakfast Program, Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. His name is, he has a name. His name is beaten severely, urinated on, chained by the ankles. His name is dragged for 3 miles and decapitated. 81 places have the remains. His name is missing an arm. His name is Crackhead. War on drugs, war on poverty, scapegoat, sacrificial lamb. His name is Kicked Carcass, convict, criminal, thief, drug dealer, victim. Still a child, his name will never breathe again. His name has a mother. His name is Expendable. Sundown laws, Jim Crow cars, Jim Crow bars. His name is racial profiling. In court, just call him profiling, because this is not about race. His name is Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, Ida B. Wells. No rights a white man is bound to respect. His name has a title when he dies. His name is Mr. Martin, wearer of the black hoodie, walker of the home path, wrong place, wrong time, wrong skin, wrong crime. His name is holder of the Skittles. His name, his mother knows his name. Her tears spell it in big, bold letters down her cheeks. His name is Gone Too Soon. His name is Darky, Spook, Jigaboo, Sambo. His name is different, too difficult to be pronounced by thin lips with forked tongues. His name dies without justice. Missing, lost, bottom of the ocean, shark food, triangle trade of littered bones. His name is Sunchild, star fruit, young, gifted, and black, but you can call him nigger. His name, he has a name. His name is The Sun Is Rising. His name is Wake Up! I know his name because his name is mine. Give thanks. I want to close with one more piece before I welcome Mark up to share with us. This is a piece to honor us all. It's for my beautiful sun-kissed people. All right, we know about this. All right, say beautiful sun-kissed people. walking miracles, unfolding parables, ancient scrolls and ocean's throes. Love be a rose adorning your ears. This morning will not bring mourning nor a thorn in tears. This forever moment is shorn of fears. Say, beautiful sun-kissed people. Beautiful sun-kissed people. We are on the cusp of overthrowing overseers. Light years beyond heckles and jeers. No more tanning our hides where Dr. Jekyll steers. This love is sheer, transparent and near, as dear as your closest relative here. Say, beautiful sun-kissed people. Beautiful sun-kissed people. No conversation on us being equal, just entertaining the thought is evil. We weave full, fully woven, lost and found, traded and stolen, but look what the eye beholding. Say, beautiful sun-kissed people. Beautiful sun-kissed people. Golden, black and free and ebony, mahogany and mocha bee, chocolate Haagen-Dazs can't see. Rivers running melanin, shallow men be monitoring, but Most High got it all intents and purposes in sovereign skin. Watch as this here poem ascends, journeying and frolicking. Summer breeze is talking with the autumn wind, how winter just won't break our stride. Too much string and step for us to hide, our victory is justified. Say, beautiful sun-kissed people. Beautiful sun-kissed people. Solar rise with older ties, our currency ain't tokenized. We close to those focused and wise, whose feet arise on open skies. We white supremacy eulogizing. Blessed ministry, New Horizon, and desperate attempts at euphemizing our brilliance of feudal lies do never neutralize. Too many youth been euthanized, as sweet as prey to truth decay, but truthfully our rootful way has truth to say, adorns the night, salutes the day, in beauty that the stars obey. Say, beautiful sun-kissed people. Beautiful sun-kissed people. I relate to you so musically, and oh, the joy it brings, like, lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Let earth and heaven ring in sacred oath, 'cause after all we are betrothed to wondrous wonders of untold, great grand good fortune that broke the mold. Can't buy us off with moldy bread. We've more than crumbs inside our heads, and crust just will not satisfy when banquets alone are ours divine. We walk in gourmet grandma made, deliciousness in every shade. Say, sun-kissed people. Say, beautiful, blessed, bountiful, sun-kissed people. I praise a path that plants our flag, squarely in earth a self-made basking, a glorious newfound approach that predators cannot encroach, that parasites and wayward folks at a mere glimpse will cough and choke. See, this radiance is brighter still than every sun that lights a hill. It calls from something deep within and pours from vocal cords and pen. Say, beautiful sun-kissed people. Beautiful sun-kissed people. I'm nourished just to see you. You furnish my living room with life abundant, killing gloom. You water every plant I have and flourish my gardens green and vast. Sing lullabies to my inner child and soothe all fears of foul defile. You spray me with your sense of grace and lovingly embrace my face. Say, I am you and we are race that founded every human trace. Say, sun-kissed people. I wake with your poems on my tongue. In my chest I hear your drum, but my lips I hear your hum. It gets me high and drunk as rum. On you I am forever spun. Your melanin I'll never shun. With you I am forever one. Has there been better? Never one. Say, sun-kissed people. I bequeath these odes to you, your next of kin and children too, and their children's 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 of you will yet still match your vibrant hue. You supernatural sorcery to walk in temples gorgeously, shaming cathedrals far and near, make a white Christ pale in the mirror. Sun-kissed children, you are it. Don't let nobody tell you it's on your epitaph. That's blasphemy, surely, right? Because we know true gods never die. Sun-kissed children, you kiss my eyes with all that sunshine you applying. I say I am in love for true, because you are me and I am you. From head to toe and all between, I love these princes, kings, and queens. I even find you in my dreams, and when I wake, I vow to breathe and breathe to vow, with every vowel and consonant I can pronounce. Announce the cosmos all your feats, build castles for your sweet retreats, whose feathered pillows, black satin sheets, a sacred lounge to rest your crown from all them wounds been crying out. Sun-kissed people have no doubt, you're all I am, what I'm about. Can't tell my story without your page, hell, every chapter'd be erased. You sew my lines so seamlessly. We vibe on higher frequency. So let's not love in secrecy. My sun-kissed people, we be's the key. Give it up for yourselves, all right? Sun-kissed people, you know what it is. Keep that same applause coming up from Mark Hughes. He's gonna come and bless us with some statements on the holiday and the meaning of legacy.
Everybody get up for a minute, please. Just go ahead and stretch. Say hi to your neighbor. Find somebody you didn't know. Because we're gonna go for another, I don't know, 40 minutes, 35 minutes. I'll be here probably for the next 15 or 20 minutes. And if you didn't get anything to eat, shame on you. If you didn't get nothing to eat, it's not too late. It's not too late. Yeah, get over there. It's not too late to get something to eat. And if you are watching on Zoom and you're in Burlington, it's not too late. You can get down here and get yourself some food. So I want to welcome you all. Just keep moving around. Don't listen to me yet. But welcome to the Richard Kemp Center, our cultural empowerment experience of the Vermont Racial Justice Alliance. We're doing this holiday that celebrates Dr. King Wright. What we're doing is we're going to talk about the real man. We didn't come to blow smoke and bluster and tell you about how many dreams folks are supposed to have, or dance and sing for you, or perform a minstrel show today. We're not here to talk about all of the good things that are going on, or how happy everybody is, like the happy slaves on the plantation. What we're here to tell you about is we're here to tell you about the real king. So we'll start in just a minute. If you don't, again, if you haven't got anything to eat, go ahead and get something. If you haven't, there are also drinks back there. If you want some soda or some water, it's like all the way in the back. Okay? I'm going to start in about 2 minutes. Oh, I see her. watch that stuff.
I know.
That'll get you every time. So as you're finding your seat, you don't necessarily have to sit down. You can keep standing up if you want to. But I just want to give a couple shout outs before we get started. Some people that I know, just people that I love and that are close to me in the house. Vincent Mitchell's here. That's a big deal. Emiliano Void is in the house. I see you. Rosny Edens is in the house. Gary is in the house. I'm surrounded by a few brothers that are in here that actually mean a lot to me. And I just want to let you know that the reason why I say that is because by God's grace, we do this work together. And it's not about what a person can do alone, because in this work, you cannot work alone. Literally, if you work alone in this work, you will die. Period. So that's how serious this work is. I want to honor, in the tradition of my faith, the Lord Jesus Christ, who is the Lord of my life and above everything that I do. So that's what it's always been about in my life, and that's what it continues to be about. Sometimes it can be a lonely walk. So I just want to be mindful of that I've got some help in the room, and I just called a few of them out. But short of God himself, I can do nothing. So good evening, I'm Reverend Mark Hughes. I am the Executive Director of the Vermont Racial Justice Alliance. We are so proud of this community, so proud of this community and how this community has been finding ways to come together despite ourselves, tripping over ourselves sometimes. I'm so proud of you, those of you who are here tonight, and all of the work we are doing, but I didn't come to give you a flowery story tonight because I came to talk about Dr. King. I came to talk about a man who just didn't have a dream. So often what we find is it's so, this is a product of our alleged white supremacy culture that reproduces this nonsense about this man and about how we can just all come together and hold hands and sing Kumbaya because it's all going to be okay in the great by and by, because Dr. King came, he solved civil rights problems, and now it's all over and we can go on because you don't have that problem anymore. Everybody's cool, we're all equal, sit down and be quiet, get back to work. Well, I just came to break that myth tonight. That's a bunch of nonsense. That's a bunch of nonsense. And so what is important to remember about our friend and our doctor, Dr. King, is first of all, not too many people liked him. So it's easy in hindsight to look back at a person and make up stories. In fact, it's easy to make up stories about almost anything, especially when you control the narrative. It's easy to make up stories about Reconstruction. It's easy to make up stories about the lost cause in the South. It's easy to make up stories about critical race theory or somebody who allegedly won an election. When you control the narrative, you can make up whatever story you want to make up. The truth is that Dr. King, by and large, in the church, outside of the church, in the movement, and among black people, was largely not liked. Oh boy, if you could see y'all's faces. That's okay. I came to I'm gonna preach just a little bit. You see, there are situations where in life when you are faced with a situation where you have to make a decision on whether you're going to do what's best or what's right, you have to make some hard decisions. And what I posit is that Dr. King made some hard decisions in his life. And he made some unpopular decisions in his life. Now, we always thought it was about racism. But if you were listening earlier, you would have heard that towards the end of King's life, he also started to talk about militarism. And he also started to talk about poverty. And I would imagine he probably was even talking a little bit about climate, quite frankly, because I think he's a pretty smart guy. I'm just going to throw that one in there because I don't know how you didn't see it coming. But all I'm saying is that when you start to look at the convergence of all of these situations, where they converge at is political and economic power. Political and economic power. What I came to tell you tonight is that there are so many things going on around us today that it's important for us to talk about, where there is a convergence of political and economic power, where we need to be able to risk something and make an investment in that fight, in that argument. You see, what I'm getting at here is that Dr. King, he came to an understanding that not only was he unpopular, but his very life was at risk, because it was such an unpopular position that he was taking across the board. Now, I can relate to this on another level, because Jesus wasn't popular either. And they killed him too. But it wasn't because he was meddling. It wasn't because he was instigating, not on that level. But what I'm saying is what he was doing was he was just doing what he believed to be right. He was just saying what he believed to be right. He was just living in a way that he believed to be right. So all I really came by to tell you tonight is that when we do this work and as we do this work, let's not just have one day out of the year when we come together and tell flowery stories about, as a matter of fact, flowery stories about something that ain't even true, about a guy who was about much more than this. In fact, it was King who said, and who lived in this way, who said that when you are no longer afraid to die, then you are free. He said, when you are no longer afraid to die, then you are free. That's what he said. What I'm getting at here is that we spend a lot of time just worrying about loss as it pertains to minuscule things surrounding our own political and economic power. Let me just break it down. Our own social status and our ability to generate revenue. There's your political and economic power. So when we have these events around town, around the state, throughout the year and so forth, what you see is there are some of us who are so preoccupied with the status quo. Yeah, I told you I didn't come to tell you what you wanted to hear. You're so satisfied and so preoccupied trying to have lunch with the mayor, so satisfied and so preoccupied trying to find favor with somebody who has political and economic power that you are no good for the movement. None. And there are some who are so unpopular, they will never get an invitation. That's who you want to be. If you are really marching this march, if you are walking this walk, then there should be nothing that anybody has that can be added to you that's going to make you a better person in your walk. And there should be nothing that you have that anybody can take away from you that's going to make you less. I wish somebody would hear me in here. And if you have that as an ingredient in this walk, in this march, and if you understand that it's not just about this one day, but it's about how we walk every day in this walk, in this fight, in this march, this is about what we do every day. It's not about what happened at Echo today. It's not about what happened at Unitarian yesterday. It's about what happens in here every day. When you get that figured out, and then if you want to put some icing on the cake, now I'm telling you, I am not popular here, and that's okay. Because we need to figure out how to get in some good trouble every now and then. Somebody ought to figure out how to get in some good trouble every now and then up in here. And if you haven't found your good trouble, then shame on you. And don't waste my time. And I don't care if you like me, by the way. But we got to get some stuff done here. And what that means is we've got to come together. And we've got to stop playing games. We've got to understand that there can be nothing that's out there that's so important that we're going to walk away from this march. This is a movement. This ain't no game. This is not something we do every day. This has been happening since 1619. This is a movement. Somebody say movement. Look at your neighbor and say movement. Say, I'm going to move. So what I'm trying to get at here is that King wasn't no joke. Did you know? Did you know that King was being stalked by the FBI? Counterintelligence Operations Program, COINTELPRO. Is that a real thing? Why, he said. Why? He's a black activist. That's why he's a black activist. Same reason why today we have black identity extremists. Now, half of you in the room, 3/4 of you don't even understand it. If you cared, you'd look it up on your phone while I was talking to you. Is a black identity extremist is a term that the FBI made for black activists today. So the struggle is real, and then they just changed the name of it to Iron Fist. These are real operations that are being conducted that are targeting black activists because we are viewed as a threat. So now let's get this straight. Let's just do some myth busting for a minute. We're talking about the United States of America, the biggest thug on the planet, is looking at a poor country boy from Waterloo, Iowa, retired Army officer, flag waving United States Army citizen, and I'm a threat to the United States of America? How? But that is the level that we're operating at. And I guess what I'm trying to get you to see is this is older than the days are long. This march, this struggle, this movement that we've been on. Dr. King, all he was doing was he was falling in line with a parade of black folks who've been marching this march the whole time. You've heard many names. You've seen many come and go, whether it's Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Fannie Lou Hamer. The list goes on and on and on. And he was another soldier. But what exemplified him is that he wasn't taking no hostages and he wasn't playing games. It wasn't just about I had a dream. It was about standing up to political and economic power and speaking truth to power. What created this mess that we're in, this incessant desire to have the perfect business plan of free land and free labor, and the exploitation that ensued after that. It's nothing but greed, but has always been about political and economic power. And the only way that we're going to be able to fix this is acknowledge that, and acknowledge your place in it, and accept the fact that there are places where you are operating that could be harmful. There are places where you're operating that you need to pull back from and check yourself. We all do. Why are we doing things? How many white people in the room have not silently witnessed black oppression? Do not put your hands up. I don't believe you for a minute. How many white people in the room do not have a racist in their family that they don't talk to? Don't even try it. But how many black people are playing with political and economic power, knowing that you're not stepping up and speaking truth to power on a daily basis? Don't put your hands up either. So this movement, it's got to be intergenerational. It's got to be interdenominational. It's got to be bipartisan. It's got to be interracial. It's got to be bicameral. It's got to be everything. That's what King was trying to tell us. We may not all look the same, and we may not have the systems of oppression, the same systems of oppression that are holding us down, but we know the ones that are killing us. We all know it. And we can work together to do that, but we got to be brave. We got to be strong. We've got to speak truth to power, even if it's going to cost us something, especially if it's going to cost us something. Because you're not speaking truth to power if you're not staring it in the eyes and saying, I dare you. You see, like King, I can stand here and tell you there is no political or economic power that is here to influence me today. And I can promise you, I'm not afraid to die today either. And that's the power that we walk in when we come to that acknowledgement. Everybody's not up for it. If you're not, say so and get out the way. But we got some work to do here, folks. This is not a celebration holiday. This is not, let's run victory laps and let's just slap each other on the back. This is real. The struggle is real. The movement is real. The political and economic power that we face is real. It always has been. The backlash that we're getting today is just as real as it has been for the first Reconstruction, the second Reconstruction, and this Reconstruction right now. It's real. So when we come down to today, and we think about what it is that we're up against, what I came by to tell you is that we too have to have the difficult conversations. Why is it today, when we're in a nation where we just had an insurrection in our capital and there was Confederate flags waving outside, we have a major party that at the heart of it is white supremacy and white nationalism, and even in our churches, there's a conversation about white nationalism today, and we're monkeying around with this conversation about CRT, blah, 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 blah. Why is there so much silence today? Why? We got to get real with this thing. Like I said, either step up or get out of the way. We'll be here. Thank you for coming out tonight. Let's get it on.
Let's give a warm round of applause for Brother Mark Hughes. I want to close out just by thanking everybody for attending and hoping that you, not even hoping, just calling you all in to really hold yourselves accountable from what you heard today. That you take this into your hearts, into your communities, that you spread this word, this message, that you look at the ways that you can transform society, that you get involved with the Richard Kemp Center, involved with these places where we're connecting to make change. And don't be a stranger, don't be a fly by night, don't be a visitor, don't be an onlooker. Be a participator, because our liberation's intertwined. So make some noise for that. I think I'm going to close now by singing the same way that we opened up, because it's always about striving for peace, for the freedom of all people, for us all to be liberated from these oppressive forces, and it starts with us working on ourselves and building bridges together. So when you should know the part by now. Those of you who already have sung it before, I know Jada know. So. I'd like there to be a war where... Okay, we're gonna start that over. That sounds horrible, oh my God. I'm gonna get out of the depression. I'd like there to be a war where the gunners didn't show and the flyers didn't flow, like a river carrying death to those below, where artillery moved too slow, missed the boat and the whole dang show. And we all refused to go, I said, we all refused to go. I'd like there to be a war where I'd like there to be a war where the infantry said no, in clipped tones the taste of snow, and the bombers stated clear, they won't go in any ear, and sharpshooters closed their eyes, much to the brass' great surprise. And there was peace with no reprise, we chose the peace with no reprise. I'd like there to be a war where I'd like there to be a war where we first would check ourselves, see what our causes do foretell, tweak what tweaking would do well, then maybe check ourselves again. Remembering some crazy macho win does not signify a win, cannot signify a win. So I'll say it once again, I'd like there to be a war where I'd like there to be a war where we'd like there to be a war where wouldn't you? All right, give it up for yourselves. Somebody say the work ain't done. Say we just getting started. You better believe that. Blessings. Also want to make the announcement, check out our website for the initiatives. It takes some food to go. Please stay involved and stay connected. Thank you all for coming.